We've got a lot of music, and we're not afraid to use it.
Would you say I have a plethora?
A what?
A plethora.
Oh, yes. You have a plethora.
What is a plethora?
Why?
Well, you told me I have a plethora, and I just would like to know if you know what a plethora is. Jefe, what is a plethora?
Texas Homegrown Radio and DallasOnAir.com.
Hey y'all, this is Cody Braun with Reckless Kelly, coming to you live from Cabo, Mexico. You're listening to The Morning Ride with Jody Lee.
Hey everybody, this is Scotty Alexander, and you're listening to my buddy, not always the sanest person in the room, but nonetheless, my friend Jody Lee on The Morning Ride.
It's the morning ride.
Texas Homegrown Radio, live from the Rockstar Ranch and Texas Homegrown Studios.
60% of the time, it works every time.
I do lessons. Quiet on the set. Just kidding. Hey y'all, this is Billy Joe Jones, and you're listening to The Morning Ride on Texas Homegrown Radio.
Again, we need your vote. Jody Lee and Texas Homegrown Radio on the original First Positive.
Hey y'all, this is Cody Braun with Reckless Kelly, coming to you live from Cabo, Mexico. You're listening to The Morning Ride with Jody Lee.
Hey, this is Ed Jurdy from the Band of Heathens. Get your morning started right listening to Texas Homegrown Radio.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
It's the morning ride.
Live from the Rockstar Ranch at Texas Homegrown Studios, it's the Morning Ride.
Yeah, baby.
The question is, are you ready?
I believe in it now. I believe it's going to happen to me now. I'm ready for it.
Live from the Rockstar Ranch in Texas Homegrown Studios.
Welcome in. It is the... Oh, wait, sorry. Crap, I did it again.
Let me show you a new trick I learned. Welcome in. It's the Morning Ride right here on Texas Homegrown Radio. Your wife wishes she had that button right there.
She does when we play shows, bro.
That's true. It's bad that she's a great sound person, but when you piss her off, I'm like worried the whole time. Like,
the world would be better with a mute switch. If you just had that option every once in a while, you're like, no.
It's kind of like that Adam Sandler.
Fade her down.
Was that Adam Sandler movie Click?
Yeah. Like, why is there phaser on everything?
Who hit this Waylon Jennings button?
I'm rolling with it.
Shoot, they have that stuff now that you can put a button and it makes you sound like anything.
Right.
Like the Eagles harmonies and stuff. Like, it's scary with the stuff they can do.
You know what kind of gets me a little bit?
What? Go ahead. I'm just turning Pippin's mic up.
Is it them? You know, like Shooter decided to come out with like that he found all this stuff from Waylon, right?
Mm-hmm. On Father's Day.
But it just so happens that it coincides with the unveiling of AI with Randy Travis, and it freaks me out. I'm like, why did you wait till now to go through all that stuff?
I would have been a little more skeptical, if it would have been from the record label and not Shooter. I think Shooter's probably gonna, for real, release some of this music.
I don't think it's about money for Shooter.
Yeah, no,
Waylon loves it wrong.
No, and really the statement he made was like, these are songs that have never been heard, that are literally from just when he was writing song after song. He had his own studio for a while.
I can't wait, dude.
It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool, but I hope it's not AI.
I hope it's not AI. It freaks me out. Like I got that little thing in my mind going, like maybe.
So far, 2024, my favorite artist has been Eric Cartman doing song covers. It's been a great year.
Hey, move over. Just move this way or one way. Yeah, your mic. You moved, and your mic was right in Pippa's face. Even we put him in the worst spot.
Yeah, I like to remain anonymous.
Back there. There he is. He's back there.
He's used to it.
This better?
Yeah, that's
been in some spots.
Move your mic this way.
Yeah, that's the great thing about Pippin.
There he is. All right, we're good.
We just stick him somewhere, and he'll be okay.
He's the blurry guy in the background.
You can hear him, but you can't see him.
Yeah. Is my inner monologue.
Do it.
There it is again. Oh.
Wait, man, that Animal House?
That would be so awesome. It's like a cartoon, like in our old days when we were kids. You know, I could just see like two Pippins. There's like a little devil Pippin, a little angel Pippin.
Don't do it, John. Do it.
Oh yes.
You know you want to. No, think about
dressed as Bobby Hill for some reason.
You're like, I'm literally just trying to decide if I'm going to eat this can of Spam. I don't need this kind of pressure.
The sodium, John.
He's like, you want devil's ham.
You know you want to do it. It's potted meat. It's better.
Meat won the wars.
Where else can you get your meat intake and your salt intake in one can?
Right? Does anyone else have a third voice? It's like sardines.
Yeah.
Sardines.
Phil Collins did a song about it. It's called So Sodium.
I have been involved very closely with some people that liked raw oysters out of the can, and they can go to hell. That's the worst smelling thing on the planet. And
how is that even edible?
I don't know.
Raw oysters
the people
out of the can?
Oh, and
well,
they're smoked.
They're smoked
Yeah.
oysters. That's right.
My goodness, my
They
wife
are pungent.
eats
I'll eat a
horrible.
lot of adventurous things, but the can of raw oysters is.
I would put that. I would eat sardines before I'd eat that. I think
My wife likes so she'll take the whole can and stick it on a burner.
Yeah,
and just like
that's
heat
a
it
good
up that
idea.
way.
Actually, put some stuff.
Yeah, they're
in
not
there.
raw. They are smoked,
She
so
likes
you can
the
eat them
things.
just straight out of the can.
I can't do it, man.
But at a certain point, like you're being a jerk to everybody else that exists in the room.
Yeah,
we kind of have
If
that
not
rule
at first,
with
later.
we kind of have that rule with pork rinds in the van when we're on road trips, because soon as somebody opens up a thing of pork rinds, the entire van smells like pork rinds every time.
Yeah.
I had to make this announcement the other day. It's just like, hey guys, there's just a few things you probably shouldn't eat in the back of the van. Tuna fish is maybe one of them, and pork rinds is probably the other.
definitely tuna fish.
Yeah, man, it's so good though.
Yep,
smells like we parked at the red light district down at Austin.
It's dolphin free.
Good morning to Dusty Williams. He said he's listening from Chiefland, Florida right now.
Oh, awesome. Hello.
Dusty's a great artist himself.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
We've been adopted.
That's the home of Jon Young, the rapper.
Yeah. The one that Blue Metal used to tag in all their posts when you played that. On purpose.
Yeah, so this is a fun story. This is why we were the Jon Young band instead of just Jon Young, because I went by Jon Young for years. Just because it's my name, and it turns out there's a white rapper in Florida named Jon Young who had a very illustrious career about 10 years ago. And
wow,
yeah, if you say play Jon Young on Alexa, it literally plays his song. So we weren't a big fan of that.
Yeah,
had to kind of distance ourselves, but I didn't want to change my name. No. I had it first. The problem was I used band names up until I kind of went on this particular part of my journey.
Right.
So he had the name Jon Young first for sure.
So you just threw in band and it was all good.
It works.
Yeah, and
it's got that.
It's different.
Yeah, yeah, it's just a little bit different. Ours goes like this: band.
Me and Joe, we watch that Vanilla Ice video all the time.
Oh, it's
one
great.
of my favorites.
Yeah, him trying to explain why they didn't steal under pressure. It's like, come on, come on.
Because theirs goes doon 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 doon, and ours goes doon 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 doon. Different. It's different.
It's got that.
I heard it. That's the difference right there.
And we don't say under pressure.
So I was talking. We got the privilege to open up for Great Divide the other night.
Oh, fantastic!
Awesome.
I love that. Reminds me of the old City Limits days.
Yeah, especially because I was like their go get it guy. Like I was their gopher because I was the DJ out there.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
I was like, but I was thinking I have like come to full fruition. Now I'm opening for them,
Yes.
And on the way, Mike's like, "Hey, could you stop at the store for me?" And I'm like, "I'm still bringing him crap."
Yep.
But we got to talking, and so I was giving him a hard time about "Living Like Thanksgiving," that song.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "You know where I got that from, right?" And I was like, "No." And he goes, "I stole it from a Vanilla Ice video." And I said, "What?" And they asked him how he's doing. He goes, "I'm just living like Thanksgiving." And he said, "I laughed so hard that I just couldn't get it out of my head, and I wrote a song about it."
I think we should all acknowledge what a weird year that was in music. That was like the same year that MC Hammer came out.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff that was happening. It's like, what is this?
What is this stuff?
What is this stuff? And it was like MC Hammer's doing like Pizza Hut and Pepsi ads and
He's
stuff.
got them big pants.
Yeah. And Vanilla Ice is like, I think he was, what, with Suge Knight? Or Suge Knight checked.
Yeah, he was hanging him
Was
off
this
about
pre or post Ninja Turtles?
Was this during the first
that was
round
during-
of Ninja Turtles?
Yeah. Well, that was the
When they
height of
first came
Vanilla
out
Ice.
I think that's a good redemption arc for Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Ninja Turtles was fantastic.
Yeah, that's when they first came out with the movie Ninja Turtles movie. Yeah.
Yeah. But, he was in the second one.
Yeah.
He's the Go Ninja guy, in case y'all wondering.
Go Ninja, go!
Yeah.
And then he did house renovation. He's such a guy.
He got like buff, dude.
He got arrested.
Stacked, bro.
He got arrested on his show for stealing from the neighbors. They video. The evidence was on his cameras.
Oh, God. He was like, "You see what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go next door and see if we can borrow something." Oh yeah. All right. You see that board right there on the house? It's gonna be perfect for this one over here.
That's
Let's
what they
drag that
did.
down.
That's what they did.
Here, hey, give me a pry bar over here.
It was
Jerry.
that bad.
It's just called, need it. It's just called Stealing with Rob. This is a new show on A&E, Stealing with Rob.
We're going to teach you how to build an entire house by stealing from your neighbors around you.
Robin with Van Winkle.
Robin with Van Winkle. No, that's a good idea. That's a TL show if I've ever heard. TLC show. For sure.
I didn't know that was his name, his real name, until I listened to the Bloodhound game.
Rob Van Winkle.
Oh.
Wait, what? And then I was like Googling it, and I'm like, I didn't know what his real name was.
That's almost a better stage name.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a better stage name than Vanilla Ice. Come on, Rob Van Winkle.
He was trying to be a rapper.
Yeah,
That's
he wanted to be
really white name.
But Vanilla Ice is
again,
better.
It might have worked.
I Rip Van Winkle.
Vanilla Ice. I mean, that's a pretty.
If he would have just changed
I'd like
his name
to think
to
the
Rip
name
Van
was
Winkle,
given to him somewhere in a corner, and he's like,
You
I guess
smooth
that
like
does have a
vanilla,
van
but
in
cold
it.
as ice, man. And he's like, you know what? You got it. You nailed it.
That's right.
That's
I am
me.
cold.
I'm Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice.
See, you could have been like you could have had a stage name.
Yes, I could have. And I did think about that for a while.
Yeah.
And here's the problem.
Big John.
I tried all sorts of different combinations. My middle name is Christopher, so I was like, Chris Young. This is going to be it. There's already a Chris Young.
True.
He's pretty famous, you know.
Old Chris.
JC.
John Christopher Young or just John Christopher.
Old
Sounded kind of
Chris.
weird. So we just went with the Jon Young band.
I like it. Yeah.
You gotta own it.
It's worked.
It's like Michael Bolton from The Office. He's like, man, he can go get a new name. It's mine first. He's the one that sucks.
What if you just went with just like a one name like Cher, like just John. Jon, just John.
I would
took
just
the
make it
road
Billy Bob.
Most traveled with the name John.
Yeah.
Hey, all right, everybody, come see John tonight.
John. Yep.
The artist formerly known as Young.
Yes, the artist formerly
you can do
known
that
as Jon Young.
when you're old. Just change it to the artist formerly known as Young.
Growing up with the name John was kind of an interesting thing, and I know a lot of
Especially
people.
with no H.
Yeah, literally, people all go through the same thing. But like in school, every year I'd have one class that had like 4 Johns in it. And so the teacher, rather than like just acknowledging that we all had different last names, would just try to make different ways to say our names. And I was all sorts of different things. Like, and you just, because if you say John and there's four people in there, it makes it a anarchy. You know, you can't really communicate with people. But
at least it was a guy name. I was tagged in with girls.
Yeah.
I was in a class with Jodies.
Jodies.
And through my life, I've dated 2 Jodies, and they both made it weird.
That would be kind of strange.
If we got married, we'd have the same name. I'm like, One even had the same middle name. I'm like, that's
you, Jody Cuddle, take Jody Cuddle to be your lovely wedded wife.
Yeah, it got strange, man. My dad said he'd name me Jody to make me tough, like a boy named Sue.
Oh man,
I like it.
I could see that. I could see that.
So it didn't work.
It just sounds good though, Ricky and Jody.
Yeah, I hate my name. I always hated it. In college, I changed it
I don't
to
know,
Cage.
Jody. When you get pissed off, people do
Cuddle.
scatter.
Cage Cuddle.
Cage Cuddle.
Welcome to the arena, Cage Cuddle.
Wouldn't that have been cooler?
Yeah, that would have been pretty good.
Cool.
I had a
Good
dumb
fighting
nickname.
name.
People used to call me Kit because I played drum kit,
Oh,
and I thought it was super
Like the
cool at
car?
first. Yeah, and then I was like, my dad's like, like Knight Rider, and I'm like,
Man.
what?
Did y'all know that the car in Knight Rider is voiced by Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World?
Yes.
It's amazing.
Hey, good morning to Keith Camp. He said he's listening in Conway, Arkansas.
Oh, nice.
Excellent.
I love Arkansas. It's a pretty place.
Top of the morning to you in
Beautiful.
Arkansas.
What other place you get bologna sandwich and biscuits and chocolate gravy? It's a good state.
Arkansas.
Yeah, we played a
Yeah.
festival up there at next to
It's
Ozark
amazing.
in the Ozarks, and it
Yes.
was fantastic. But we were on our way home, and literally we stopped at a diner, and Pippin
Dessert for
ordered like
breakfast.
the craziest thing I've ever seen, and it was chocolate gravy and like
Biscuits. They told me to do it, and I was like, "What is this?" And they're like, "It's a staple."
They're like, just
And
try it.
Was
it
no
good?
regrets. It's like dessert.
Well,
It's
so
amazing.
Chocolate gravy.
I told you
Yes.
about these bus seats and going to Missouri with Craig. Well, we came back on this bus and stopped in Arkansas at a Waffle House.
oh nice.
And it was the best experience I've ever had. We
Fantastic.
we walked in. First, we parked on the hill and had to put rocks under the bus tires because it was rolling down the hill. But we went in, and this first thing we see is this girl's retiring from the Waffle House, and she's only like in her 20s. and she's retired. They're throwing a retirement party for her.
Wow, that's
and
very
then
thoughtful.
the cook. We're sitting at the bar right there where the cook is, and the cook won't cook because they turned off the Michael Jackson, and he's a big white boy. I mean, he's way bigger than me, and he refused to cook until they played Michael Jackson.
Wow.
And they turned it off because they're having a retirement party for this 20-year-old girl who had been there her whole life.
Wow.
And so they finally turned it back on, and he starts going, hee hee, and cooking, and we were just like, what is going on?
Yeah, alternate reality.
Yes.
1, 2.
And he loved Michael Jackson, and he wouldn't cook without it. They would turn it off, and he'd stop.
It's funny how many times a story that starts with "we went to Waffle House" ends with like it got really crazy.
But the
and weird.
Arkansas Waffle House was the best.
Yes.
I don't remember what town, but it was in Arkansas.
You know,
worst roads ever too.
I'm gonna take a quick survey: Waffle House, IHOP, or Denny's.
Denny's
Waffle
isn't
House.
even in the
Waffle House.
conversation.
No.
Yeah, I agree. Denny's
It
lost
just-
me a long time
It
ago.
depends on what time of day.
Right.
And if you want entertainment or not. Because if
Yes.
you want entertainment, Waffle House is the place.
My thought on it: Waffle House is the most consistent. It's
Yeah.
not the best food,
No,
but like
it's
it's
not
the most
great.
consistent. Because I'll go to IHOP and everything's all dressed up. They're like, we have 8 syrups, but it's like, yeah, the food it's just not very good.
It's still breakfast food.
It's still breakfast food. You know, it's
If
like
it's the morning time, it's IHOP for me.
We went, where was the one we went to after a show? Was that in Weatherford?
Yeah, we always used to stop at the one in
Or was it
Weatherford.
Granbury?
No, it's Weatherford.
Sure.
Yeah,
was it
there's not
Weatherford? Yeah,
one
it
in
was.
Granbury.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Weatherford. It was
That's
Weatherford.
how we drove
And-
out of the way instead of going to Stephenville. We drove out of the way out of Granbury to Weatherford to go to
Waffle House. Yeah.
well, and what I like
Stupid.
about them too is they have the exact same layout in every restaurant.
It's always the same.
It's always the same. So no matter where you're at, if you find a Waffle House, it's kind of like cruising back into your home. You know.
The last time we went, I
It's
stood
very
next to a
familiar.
guy, and he goes, I got run over by a car. And I'm like, just random conversation. I go, what? He goes, my ex ran over me with a car.
Oh, that's
I
wild.
was like, man, that's crazy. Are you okay? He goes, you want to see the video? I'm like, you have video? And he's like, yeah, I got security footage here.
Oh, my God.
And he just
Oh,
pulls
my
up his
God.
phone, and he's just walking across the parking lot like, la-di-da-da-da. And here comes his car out of nowhere and hits him, and he flies up over her windshield, over top of the car. And I'm like,
That's insane.
and it just came up in a leisurely conversation. And he goes, yeah, I'm going through a lawsuit with her for trying to kill me, but that's...
You ever hear about the time that I got hit by a car?
And he's just trying to get as many I don't know, support and witnesses to
Yeah,
the
I
situation
guess.
as he can.
And he's like,
Well, I
just
mean, I
tell
would
me
do the
about
same.
Waffle House.
If I got hit by a car and I had it on tape, I'd probably show everybody. It's like, hey,
I'd
check
make it a
this
music
out.
video.
It was awesome. It looked like a stuntman did it.
Oh, it'd be a great
Oh, that's
promo.
awesome.
That'd be a great spot in
But
the music
then I
video.
started thinking, was it
Write
him?
a breakup song.
You know,
Yeah.
Like he just
maybe he just Googled guy gets hit by car.
Yeah,
and
just got the one that looked closest to him.
But I want to believe it was really him.
It's like, it's really pixelated, but that's me. You know?
This sounds like a good HBO show, Waffle House Diaries.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, you just you travel around and just get all the craziest stories you can by going to Waffle Houses.
That's a great idea.
It would be easy.
I think
be
you're
so
right,
easy.
though, Pip. I think Denny's really doesn't even make the list. Like,
No.
every time I've ever ate
it
at Denny's, I leave going like, "What did I just buy?"
Food shouldn't
Yeah.
hurt you. Like after you eat it.
Do you guys remember back in the old days when they had the smoking section would be the outer rim of the restaurant,
Yeah.
and there was like
Every-
a wall that was like 4 foot high, and then the
That's where
non-smoking
the non-
section was in the center.
Yes.
What logic is that?
I never understood that.
Never
It's
understood
like
that.
Jack and Dorothy's used to be all smoking, but the back room was
Yeah.
the non, and that's where all the smoke went.
Of course it
Poor
did.
guys.
I never understood that.
That's awesome.
It's hard to find a place to smoke anymore.
That's
but-
true.
that-
Probably for the better.
Probably.
I know we used to come out of Montana
man.
smelling like old cooking grease and
Yeah.
cigarettes.
And there's always those people that would stare at you like
yes.
the whole time you're trying to like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Stephenville in general.
you can't even
yeah.
enjoy it. That's, I
Stephenville
finally
for
quit. I finally quit February. I quit.
But
So I hadn't
fantastic, man. That's
I hadn't
good.
had one since February, but
I'm gonna quit one of these days.
I had to for my health. I was tired of
Oh,
dying.
yeah.
But I remember,
it's hard
I
on
remember
you.
the looks that you would get, especially in a restaurant. You know, there'd always be that lady looking at you like, "I hate you."
How dare you?
Oh, dude, we
Like,
were
I
in
wish I
Fort
could
Worth.
just rip that out of your hand.
We were in Fort Worth maybe 3 months ago. My wife and I both smoke, and we ended up walking down the street, and some Zenio kids came up behind us and just started going, just following us around. It's like, get out of here! Come on now, you gotta have something better to do with your time than just pasteurized.
And then they lecture you while they're vaping.
Yeah. You guys are horrible.
I'm like, yeah, in 5 years you're all gonna be. It's gonna be on the news. Do you have metal pieces in your lungs? Yeah, it'd be one of those lawyer commercials.
People
on
get
TV.
popcorn lung from that stuff, man.
I've heard that.
Serious.
I don't.
It's all bad, but you gotta have
Well,
some kind of ice, I guess.
Guys, honestly, like life is like hazardous to your health.
Yeah.
All the way across.
I think you're right. I think it's just life.
Life in general. Yeah, but smoking definitely is not good for you. So don't smoke, kids. It's not good.
Don't smoke.
Hey, good morning, Jill. Jill says good morning.
Good morning, Jill.
Over at the Goat.
Oh, nice.
Excellent.
Can't wait to go check that place out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
we
Goat
go
over in
somewhere.
Morgan, Texas.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we're playing there, in a couple weeks, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah. Go check that out.
Yeah, we got a bunch of books for July.
Yeah. Maybe
Fantastic.
we can open for Jon Young Band one time. I don't know. We're not that big yet.
I'll bring you in.
Maybe one day. One day.
Dude, you open for Great Divide.
Yeah.
If you got Mike McClure's okay, then I can't really argue with that.
The Great Divide even like commented on Facebook about it.
Heck
and
yeah.
said we did good.
That's
So
awesome.
I didn't even pay him or nothing. Well, I did take him his stuff he needed.
Just because I'll be honest, it's just because the drummer's my cousin.
They just played the Grand Ole Opry.
That's awesome.
That's crazy to me.
I've been really enjoying seeing some of these like legacy acts that are known in Texas but not known to the rest of the world playing the Opry and playing Red Rocks.
I want to see Jon Young Band doing that.
We
You've been
would
doing
love
this a
to play.
long time,
Yeah.
Man.
Like you've been doing this a long time.
Long time.
I mean, that's overnight success, you know, like Zane Williams says. But you know, it's good seeing like Flatland and these guys doing that stuff, and I think it opens the doors, for a lot of guys. A lot of people that's been out there on the road forever, and
Well, it's just
time. It's time.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of those things like you just keep working and just put your head down and do it.
Yeah.
You can't go out there looking to be the very top. You just have to just go do it.
Yeah, you got to do it because you love it for sure.
Yeah, you got to do it because you love it.
I was wondering about that, because I've been in this business since I was like 14 playing shows.
Same.
I started as a kid and everything, and I got kind of discouraged about midway, and then I saw this interview, and I think it was Willie Nelson that said it, and he was like, well, if you fail at something for long enough, you become a legend. I think it was Willie that said it. And I was like,
something he would
I was
say.
like, that makes me feel better. Like, yes, all right, 10 more years, come on.
Willie is one of the greatest examples of just like longevity, but he got run out of Nashville. Like they ruined what Willie Nelson, like the core Willie Nelson, what we love about him today is what Nashville was like very anti.
Yeah.
And so they were like, oh, he's a great songwriter, but his voice just terrible. I hate the way this guy's voice, and he cannot play guitar. Like all these things that are just because if you're cutting a record with Chet Atkins, you can't play guitar.
Yeah.
Like that guy kind of does everything. So they were trying to do that Nashville sound, put strings over him.
Play by the
I
numbers.
have one of those early Willie Nelson, like the first couple of Willie Nelson records is him with short hair, with like no beard, and he's just very like, and they sound like everything at the time. It's just like covered up with orchestra and like big reverbs and.
But I've got an old record from him called Country Willie Sings His Own Songs. It's from like 1960.
Yeah.
Or like 1959 or something like that. And he looks
old.
so weird, man.
Yeah, he's totally different.
He's
totally
got
different.
coveralls, his slick back hair, and he's painting a barn. It's like...
Yeah.
It was only when he started doing his own thing and
Genuinely
came to Texas.
a dork.
When he started doing his own thing, came to Texas and started playing those shows at the Armadillo World Headquarters, it changed everything. Everybody was like, they always go back and say that was a weird moment because at that point the rednecks and the hippies literally did not get along. They were at like war with each other because we were just coming out of the 60s. Like the hippie culture is this huge thing, but also the redneck cowboy culture is this huge thing.
Yeah, and
they both showed up at his shows and it was peaceful and it was like a moment because it's
like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah, this
Wait,
guy
you like Willie Nelson too?
Yeah.
What?
Just turns out he was just really good. And he is good.
And Jeb had never heard this. I brought it up on another show. I said back then there was actually a game rednecks played called Rolling Hippies.
Yeah.
Where they would ride in the back of trucks and look for hippies walking down the street.
Yeah.
And they would jump out and roll them.
Oh my god!
Like hit them and roll them over.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I thought
it was
you were joking. It's
for
it was
real.
a real thing.
The real thing. They were like at war without declaring war on each other.
Oh yeah.
Because it was two very different cultures. And it was kind of like, along the same lines as like you dirty hippie just wanted to smoke pot all day and just sit in your house.
Yeah, but most rednecks smoke weed too. You know what I'm saying?
That's how David Allan Coe was born and became both. And its long hair can't cover up his red now.
Maybe it was just like a redneck jumped out of a truck, rolled a hippie, accidentally came away with a bag of weed and was like, oh, crap, I got this now. We're out of beer. Let's just try it, see what's going on, you know? I see that guy, Willie Nelson, he's got a cowboy hat on and long hair. I'm just saying.
This week in marijuana history.
Hey, man.
We should start a tribute band.
Meanwhile, Cody Jinks is over here like, this is great. I love this.
Cowboys and hippies.
Cowboys and the hippies. Yes. I'm in. 100%. It's a hit.
Dude.
Inspiration.
Love it. Well, welcome to the Morning Ride. We're here to talk about Jon Young Band's new album.
We had an exact feeling this would happen.
Yeah, every time I bring Pippin along.
Every interview we've ever done, we get to our stuff in 1 minute.
We're like, by the way, we have a new song out.
We talked movies with Smith Music for like 40
we did our Smith music interview, and it was literally just about Ghostbusters, which is excellent.
With DJ?
Yes,
yeah, he's so awesome.
We're just sitting in there just talking we're like 30 minutes into a movie talk, and we're like, are you starting it anytime soon? He's like, it's been rolling the whole time.
It happens.
Awesome.
But that's what I love about the Jon Young Band. I feel that's the way interviews should go, because then people get to know who y'all are.
Agreed.
It's all about that.
Yeah. I bet y'all have a lot of fun on the bus.
We do.
In the van.
We do.
The shows.
We have a lot
of
fun.
You have a really good group, though. I mean, y'all are like a family. I mean,
yeah. Well,
y'all really are.
You started that off with bus. I just like the distinction is we're a white van family.
Yeah.
And anybody that's ever toured, if you haven't toured out of a white van at least part of your career, I don't think you're doing it right.
Yeah. You have to get to know people very well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have to get to know people real well. In fact, this last weekend, we stayed for 4 days in Austin in one hotel room.
That hotel became
a 5-piece band with 2 queen beds and a couch.
Oh, God.
For 4 days straight. I love these guys. I don't want to kill them at all. They're fantastic.
That's how you know you can trust your band.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like Survivor Island.
I just turned and I had like clothes piles everywhere. I was like wet. Even more wet.
We kept keeping the room keeper out of there. Like the maid kept wanting to come and do our room, and we had put the "Do Not Disturb" sign on there. But like literally, they were hanging outside of our door, and every time we'd walk out, they're like, "Room service."
It became a joke. It was like an ATF cup cracking in on.
Yeah, they were like circling the room. They're just like, "You want us to clean your room?" It's like, no, we're good.
The neighbors want us to clean your room.
We're getting complaints.
We're trying to get a vintage smell going on in here.
Yeah.
This smells like sandalwood in 1970s.
That's Pippin's Lucky Socks.
Yeah. I just want peanut butter now.
He wears those Lucky Socks every show.
Hotel life, it's great. Hotel life and white van life, that's the basis of like the road. It's good.
But a lot of people that's never experienced it, they think that it's all different. Like at the backstage and parties backstage and the lavish lifestyle.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Lavish.
We don't do this to be famous. We do this because we love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference, I think, between becoming a legend and not. Right.
Right.
I did it for the green M&Ms, and now I'm diabetic. I can't even have those.
Man. Sure, they make some sort of sugar-free version.
Not
it's
yet.
Probably just terrible.
Yeah.
It's just a peanut.
All the stuff.
M&Ms.
I told my doctor, I was like, hey, they make so much more stuff now that's sugar-free. And she's like, yeah, but the stuff they make that tastes good with is worse for you than sugar. And I'm like, I can't
sucrose.
I can't win.
Meanwhile, the State Fair just unveiled deep-fried bubble gum coming out this year.
What?
God.
Yes.
Yeah, what?
Those guys have gone mad with power.
It's happening.
Bubble gum?
Yes.
Yeah. Every year they just try to outdo themselves with just like wacky stuff that you can deep fry.
I thought it couldn't go any worse than the deep-fried Oreos.
Oh, I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I've deep fried a Snickers with my friends in our neighborhood back in the day, and that was the most satisfying thing I've ever done with food.
Deep fried
an ice cream Snickers. You got to catch it real quick, and you fry it in pancake batter, and then it's not melted; it's just like soft.
Beautiful.
And then you just go to sleep immediately. It knocks you out.
Wow. I'm going to have 1,000,000 calories all at once.
What's this called? It's called a Sleepers. A new Sleepers.
I understand why Elvis ate like the most ridiculous sandwiches
Yeah,
with like
it's
bacon
so
and
good to
honey and
sleep.
peanut butter. He's like, I'm gonna knock the king out like, tonight.
We call this the carburetor.
Oh, Elvis.
I like one of them deep fried nanner sandwiches.
Come on.
I'll throw some bubble gum in there.
For the king.
He was a very state fair kind of dude, though.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, you go to the state fair not to just like see normal stuff. You go there to see like big, crazy, weird
yeah.
People
fried.
watching.
Yeah, that's Elvis.
Have you ever
watching.
seen that?
The turkey legs.
Yeah.
That movie called, it's like Elvis joins the CIA or some shit like that.
Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah, that's based on a true
It's
story.
based on- he really went to the president and was trying to get. He was like, "Well, I could be some kind of a spy, man.
An undercover narcotics agent.
Yeah, that's what I want to do, man."
No one would ever figure out.
Yeah, that's how we got that famous photo of Nixon and Elvis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's because he literally showed up at the White House with guns as a gift to go see the president.
He brought him a 1911, right?
Yeah,
you imagine showing up-
1911 pistol. He's like, yeah, man, that's one of my favorite weapons right there, and I had
Can
it
you imagine
personally
showing
engraved.
up at the White House with a gun?
Yeah.
Nowadays? Like,
Yeah, the
that-
Agent Elvis show is really good on Netflix.
Oh, that was great.
I
It's a
haven't seen
cartoon, man. It's fantastic.
I haven't seen that.
right there's karate. Oh,
But I'm
two
pretty
people
sure
know karate.
Johnny Bravo was Elvis.
Yeah.
But
Have
yes,
y'all
he
seen
was.
the movie? Sorry, I know we just keep swaying away from the music. But Elvis has there's a movie about Elvis with Bruce Campbell called Bubba Hotep.
Oh,
where
God, yes.
Elvis survived in a
wild.
retirement home.
Yes.
After
Yeah,
all
there's a
this
mummy
years,
involved.
and then there's a mummy somehow
Yeah.
involved.
It's amazing.
And he just decides to be a mummy hunter.
Yeah,
and
the
he
mummy.
fights.
The mummy keeps taking the souls of the old people in the
And he's like,
retirement
it's a
home.
dang old
and
Bubba
feeding off-
Hotep.
And the whole story goes is that he faked his death, and after he faked his death, he ran out of money and was just like an old man in a nursing home.
It was a
And
great
he's
like,
Elvis.
movie store DVD.
That's fantastic.
Just go
It's
snag
awesome.
that
And now I
one.
got to see that.
Bruce
It's
Campbell. Bruce
worth it.
Campbell's
It's on
fantastic.
something, I promise.
It
Yeah.
is awesome.
Whoever
he
made
just-
that was on something.
It's
Yeah.
on the Pootie Tang level, like same
Yeah,
kind of movie.
It's like a horror comedy Bruce Campbell movie. Fantastic.
He said booty tang.
Booty tang.
I never died about that in a long time.
That movie was great.
It was greatness. It's one of them that
Pootie
the
don't
first
need
time you're
no
like,
words.
Yeah, what
Straight
is
up
this?
Army
and
of
then you go back and
Darkness
watch it 20 times.
Pootie don't need no music.
What's your favorite color tang, Pootie?
He just talks so hard. The jive is incredible.
So
It's
I get a random picture from Amber Parks the other day of some soft drink, and it just says "dang."
Dang.
And I lost it.
Yeah.
Because that's like mine and John's joke.
Yeah.
Because evidently I drank too much one time and gave a whole presentation at Larry Joe about
You sure did.
This new invention I was coming up with. This
It was
drink
Kim that really
called
latched
Dang.
onto the idea.
Yeah.
And then we found like
chips or something.
that were called Dang. She made a video. She's like, dang.
I gave a whole presentation backstage of this drink that I wanted them to invest in.
We should definitely start recording some of those
Yeah.
because they're amazing. And then
Yeah.
you get the next day, you're like, what were we talking about last night? I don't know.
I remember it was like it was
Tis gone.
it was
Tis
like
gone. Lost
like
to the
Tang,
universe.
but it was like a powdered alcohol drink.
Oh,
where,
wow.
where you
Called
just
Dang.
add water, and it was called Dang.
Dang.
And we were gonna get like Joe Dirt to be the spokesperson. You know, he
Dang.
takes a drink of it. He's like, Dang.
Dang.
And then we were gonna sponsor NASCAR, and on the back of a card say "Dang," you know, and it goes to the driver behind him, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I can't get around this dang car."
this flavor snakes
And then it goes to the guy in the front.
Dang.
Dang.
That's awesome.
I didn't know there was that many things
I want to
called
buy
Dang.
it. Where can I get this?
John kept finding things that were called Dang, and like,
I would have my only concern is like those weird, strange boutique alcohol things always end up being weird. Like there was a bar in Austin where they had vaporized liquor.
Yeah, the balloons.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
Yeah,
Twisted
it's
J
a
had that.
liquor vapor.
Breathe in your liquor.
yeah, Twisted J had that for a while.
It
I don't know if they
it
still
was
do.
not good, and it was like $5 or $6 a shot.
Yeah.
Something just ridiculous.
It's because it was really for people to do on Instagram.
Yes,
I mean, that's
there was
that's all
nothing
that-
more to it than it was just weird.
Yeah.
I'll give you another example of when you mess with alcohol. I found barbecue flavored whiskey.
That's smooth,
What?
officer.
Yeah, barbecue flavored whiskey. If you ever have the chance to
It's
try
horrible.
it, don't do it.
Barbecue.
It's
whiskey?
horrible.
Yeah, it's barbecue flavored whiskey. And a buddy of mine got a small bottle, and he's like, "Hey, check this out." So we were just like, "I want to see what it tastes like." So I took a drink, and I felt like I was blowing liquid smoke out Like the whole rest of the evening. It was not good, by the way. It's like they took the ashes from a barbecue, and that's the flavor. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not the meat. It's the ashes of whatever they.
It's like they burned the barrel the whiskey was in.
Yeah. Yes, not good.
You think I just screwed up a shipment and we're like, well, we got to do something with it. He's like, sell it. Let's call it barbecue whiskey.
Yeah. Did you guys brew this in the barbecue barrel? What is this?
I'll have a shot of Sweet Baby Ray's, please.
I can't wait till like McDonald's like whiskey batch like French fry beef tallow.
Hey, it's
flavor.
it's National French Fry Day today.
Oh, nice.
That inspired me. I can't wait.
Beef tallow, French fried beef tallow whiskey. Yeah,
good times.
Ugh. Sounds like something Buck Buffalo would come up with.
Yeah, for real. Buck Buffalo is fantastic, man. I've been every time we come across like something that's happening, and I remember something funny of Buck, I tell the guys, and a lot of times they're just like, "That really happened?"
Yeah, afraid so.
It's like 4th of July. Do you remember when
he fish concert with Buck Buffalo?
Oh, the stilts.
Yeah, he was on stilts dressed as Uncle Sam.
Yes.
Oh man, that was fantastic.
Yeah,
that story sounds weirder than it was, and it was really weird there.
And then he smashed his guitar at the end.
Well, he had his guitar rigged up with smoke bombs.
Yeah.
And this Buck came out on stilts on a mobile stage, played an acoustic set dressed as Uncle Sam on stilts. And so the funniest was they had to figure out how to get his microphone up to him. So I think they had the mic stands on top of something.
Yeah, we had them stretched out because Amber called me and was like, I need more things. Because we were over the whole thing that year, the whole festival. And I was over at the stage because Jewel was doing stuff at the main stage. So I was having to go back and forth. But yeah, it was a treat to see him standing up there on those stilts and doing
live from the sticker field, Texas Homegrown presents Buck on Stilts.
It was the strangest show I've ever seen. And it was like a strange crowd, like because it's Buck fans, but at a family event.
And he made a beard out of cotton balls that went down to like here. And he wore it and sang his whole show with cotton balls, dressed as Uncle Sam on stilts.
Yeah.
Don't ever tell me that Buck doesn't work. That dude works.
It was
He's awesome.
Wow.
I would have killed myself.
I would have killed myself. I'm already tall. If I was on stilts, it'd be stupid. I don't know how he got up the stairs. Surely he put on his stilts when he got on that stage.
Yeah, he got on stage.
Was he wearing like painting stilts, like construction stilts?
Yeah, construction stilts.
They were tall ones.
And he's just like playing a show on stilts with a mic stand that's like jacked up all the way. It was legendary. The picture of it is fantastic.
I've never heard this story.
I know. That's why I was telling my boys about this story. I'm like, you think like people are crazy. That's hardcore dedication right there. That's beautiful.
After my divorce, I was sitting out here. I was kind of sad, after everything that happened, and I was out here just by myself, and I see this car pull in, and I thought, did someone just pull in? And I might have had some adult beverages at this point, just sitting around the fire by myself, and then I see another car, and then I see another car, and I'm like, I think I'm seeing things. The next thing I know, these like hippie girls come running around the corner chanting and going la 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 la, and got these little finger snapper symbols, and then I'm like, what is going on? And then they start lighting incense, and I'm like, I have drank way too much of this whiskey. and then all of a sudden here comes Buck and all these people dying laughing. I'm like, what are you doing? And he goes, we got these hippie girls from Austin to come down, and they're cleansing the barn. They were cleansing because they're like, we want to be sure music still happens here. And I'm like, is this really happening? Like they paid some girls to come cleanse the barn. Yes. These hippie girls that were running around, and it was crazy. And then all of a sudden there was like 20 people playing guitars around the fire. I'm like,
that's awesome.
This just happened. It was like on a Thursday night or something.
Buck is on my short list of friends that if I hang out with, I'm either going to be like go on an amazing adventure or get like in really crazy trouble. It is a short list, and it's just I have to always be aware that at any moment it could go into chaos.
I told him, I said, I told him, his Christmas thing turned into such a big deal, and I was like, I'm really sad because like I got to play the first one with like Jon Young and Carrie Lick, and like I was on the flyer, right?
Heck yeah.
And then the next year he's like, you want to MC it? And then the next year he's like, hey, you want to run it live on the radio? And then the next year he was like, we don't have any extra tickets. I was like, how'd I go from being on the poster? It grew too much.
Politics.
Well, what a beautiful thing to be rejected from, Jody. I love you. Just remember, by not being there, you're helping foster kids or something. Right. I don't know.
They thought I was one. My mom worked there for years.
Did she?
And they were taking pictures. Well, I always played with all the kids at foster home, and one year they were taking a picture out by the sign. So I just went and got in it with my friends, and so I made the cover of their magazine that went out to all the people who were trying to adopt me.
I used to work with your dad quite a bit on the maintenance stuff around there.
Oh, yeah, they did the stock show stuff.
Yep.
But when I was a little kid, I was this little curly-haired kid right there on the front, like posing with all the other kids, and my mom was like, people are trying to adopt you. And I'm like, what kind of families are we talking about? Let's just hear this out. What are my options?
What is the game system at your house?
I still have that picture, though. I always told my sister I was
stuck
adopted.
on the N64.
My sister believed me that I was adopted because I had that picture.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Do you have all the?
So I kind of was like one of those kids. Like, I had my own bike out there.
The foster home is an amazing thing, and Buck's Family Christmas has really made a good or it's a good charity to be involved with. I've actually played all of those.
All of them. He got invited back.
Do you think that?
Now my time slot keeps getting further and further away from like Friday though.
You got to think though, like if there's a family out there that has a lot of kids, that's like, their last name is Foster though. Like, they talk about them. Is it like those foster kids, and they got to explain.
Here's what's going to blow your mind: the people that started that were literally named Foster.
Yeah,
that's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
like where does that come from?
Well, it's. I think it's coincidence on their part because I think it's still a foster home anywhere else.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, but
but like literally, the people that were there, they were the Fosters.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah. That always blew my mind. I'm like, this is the weirdest coincidence.
And his middle name was Freakin'.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Freakin'?
Yeah, David Freakin' Foster.
You're kidding me. You gotta be kidding me.
No, he's just messing with you. No, he's just messing with you.
Tombstone reference, sorry.
Yeah. Frederick Chopin.
Tommy Patterson says, never a dull moment on Texas Homegrown
Radio.
I
love it. Everybody's just like, are you guys, do you know that you're on the air?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy Patterson.
I still have my, awesome, I used my knife the other day that you gave me. When they threw me a party for Over the Hill, which was like, I guess when I went 40. So that was like 10 years ago. I still got my old timer knife that John gave me. And they hired a guy to roast me. That's not fun when you're the person being roasted. It was like some cruise guy.
Oh, really?
That? It was at Larry Joe Taylor's. It was like
I remember, but now I don't.
It was so bad, and that guy, I just sit there and stared at the dude.
Like,
he was not funny. He was just mean.
Yeah.
And so then I just started coming back with comebacks on him, and I felt like I was roasting him, but he didn't like it either.
Well, nobody really likes it.
He's like, if I leave, am I still going to get paid? And I'm like, yeah.
If it's not cringy, it's not a roast, you know?
Right? It should go
it's got to be at least a little bit cringy.
Yeah, but it was, but I'd still have my knife you gave me.
Excellent.
Yeah. I told Jewel, I was like, Jon Young gave me this knife. And it's ironic, it's an old timer.
Yeah. There was some thought in that.
Sometimes like it seems like it's going to be a good idea. It's not, like that thing at Legends with the stripper.
For Thomas Knapp.
Oh, boy.
That was so awkward.
Yeah, his going away party, it did not go well.
So bad.
There was two of them, and it took forever to get ready, and they had like a wardrobe malfunction, and it was just awkward.
It looked like if you got like a stripper off of Temu. It's pretty bad.
More like off of Wish.
Yeah. I think that is. I think Wish just turned into Temu.
Summerfeld said this is not what was advertised.
I miss those old good times at Legends. That was fun. We had a lot of fun out there.
Cool place, your stuff you did, the open mic stuff, that was legendary.
Oh, dude. Yeah, those were good times. Well, it's funny. I get recognized more for that than I do sometimes for just being me, Like they're like, you used to run that Legends open mic thing. Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
You know what the trick is, though?
Standing room
you gotta
only.
get a tattoo on your face. That's what gets it nowadays,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it sounds like you nailed it.
The funniest one, though,
I'm thinking about getting one right here.
Because I remember the funniest one that I ever saw, though, was you weren't there one night, so Buck was hosting it, and I was running the radio side of it, right? And we had Charlie Stout. And he got mad that nobody was listening to him.
Well, it sounded like a jet engine in there.
And it was so loud, and he was like singing bad stuff about Tarleton.
Yeah.
And no one paid attention at all. And it just.
I think we were I'm pretty sure we were in Memphis, and I think we even listened in live. And I was like, "Oh Lord."
Buck was like, John's gonna kill us. I was like, I know. You trust us
No,
one
it's
time.
fantastic.
Y'all ever do that? Makeup stuff? Like whenever you ever been at a show that's just like, you're like, how did we get here?
Oh, yeah.
And then like, so you're just like, all right, we're screwing around for the night.
Yeah.
And then
That's
like,
most of the nights.
and you just make up songs about people in the room. Like, I've done that, and it's fun, except for, when they don't, like, when they don't know it's happening, it's hilarious. But I had one guy who was like, he was loving it. He's like, yeah, and I'm like,
no, don't cheer it.
Ruining it.
Yeah, we one time we're playing a show, and these ladies that were obviously chemically enhanced doing some.
Oh, I hate this gig.
Yeah, so we were playing this gig, and they came up to Pippin to try to request something, and he was literally playing guitar is all he was doing. We were in the middle of the song, and they came up there and were like, just like, no, you couldn't even understand what they were saying. So something, I guess it was Pippin didn't respond to him correctly. They then started to heckle us from as close as they could get.
Out and scream at
they were
us.
literally screaming at us.
Horrible.
Just ridiculous. And they're going on and on.
Wow.
And I said, guys, let's do crazy. So I pointed right at these two girls, and we did our version of Crazy. And it's like, I was like, this is for these two ladies up here, and we just played it as hard as we could, and they stopped because I just focused everything on them because they were just literally sitting there like, get on. We would stop playing music, and it would just be like immediately like just weird noises. It's like, who is doing this?
Meanwhile,
Shut up.
They're heckling us while multitasking and playing slots.
Yeah, we don't play that place anymore.
Oh my gosh, that video.
Oh, that's greatness.
Yeah.
That was also the same venue a neo-Nazi ended up putting a joint in Pippin's mouth on stage. We didn't know he was a Nazi until after the fact, and then we like, oh.
It was dark. Couldn't see the swastika tattooed on his head.
That gives new meaning to Hi Hitler.
Yeah, no, I went afterwards to go say what's up, and I walked up to him, and I'm like, ooh, look at all the symbolism on you. Oh boy,
terrifying,
Yeah.
terrifying. You sir are terrifying.
It's like Hi Hitler.
Oh, pretty crazy.
That's
really
awful.
Nice tattoo there. Is that Sandra?
Is that
sonogram?
Somebody really screwed up that throwing star and they tattooed you, man. Like,
this fan, he's a fan of Susan Sarandon.
Oh my god.
I wish I could just spin it into something not Nazi, but those people are out there too. It's just we can't even.
It's not to your fault.
No, it's not my fault.
It's not to your fault.
But both of those things happen at the same show. It says a lot about that venue.
It does say that.
The guy from American History X showed up to a show, man.
Yeah.
It's not one you want to go back to, Pippin?
Never.
It's good times. It's good times.
Anyway, road life.
We had this lady one time at our show that we were playing, and she was with this older dude. It was like a sugar daddy situation. You could tell because like she's sitting there and she's like, "Yeah, I have some more money," and he's like, "Yeah, okay, here you go." And then she go get more drinks. She kept like almost spilling drinks on our equipment because where we're set up at Max Barbecue, we're just doing an acoustic show.
Oh yeah.
And
Was
it's
that
in
Brady?
Fredericksburg?
Oh, the one in Fredericksburg.
Yeah. And I mean, we had great shows. The people stayed there all night. We played 6 hours instead of 4 both nights.
Oh yeah,
it was great.
Oh, yeah.
But it was the
Except for that
weirdest
one
thing
lady.
ever, dude. But this lady, she's like, "Can you play some Mario Wallet?" And we're like, "No."
How about did you say Waylon?
Yeah, we
no,
can do some
Waylon.
Waylon, Jenny.
No, Waylon.
And so
Waylon.
after that, she
Waylon.
starts heckling us, and she's like, doing this and that, and so we're kind of giving it back to her with songs, you know what I mean, like certain lines of the song, like "Look at her," like and then all of a sudden, the crowd just violently turns on her, and they're like, "This lady comes from over here," and she comes over there, and you need to get out, and she's like, "What?" And he's singing.
I missed it all. I had my eyes closed.
He's got his eyes closed. He's singing
Getting into it.
And he's like, really jamming it out. And this lady, she's like, "You need," and then like her husband comes over, and he's like, "Come on, honey," and she's like, "No, she's ruining the night." And he's like, "Yeah, you need to leave." And so this guy is like, tells this girl, he's like, "Okay, let's just get out of here," And so they walk out. And then everybody starts clapping, and that lady runs back through there and grabs handfuls of our merch and like, ha, and runs off.
Oh my God, people are horrible.
So they like locked the gate on her. And like,
It was craziness.
Weirdest moment, you know.
Yeah,
me and him looking at each other like.
And the
what?
guy whose wife was like throughout, he was like a FBI, CIA guy, like some kind of work for the government.
You can't make
like,
this shit up, man. Like it's literally like you never know what you're going to run into.
The night before there, so we're playing and Jeb's playing and see this guy and I'm like, that dude looks like a musician, and I really had to pee. And Jeb was halfway through his song and I looked at the guy and I'm like, hey, are you a musician? He goes, yeah. I go, come up here and play. So Jeb's looking at me like, what? Like, you don't know if this guy's any good. What are you doing?
He just takes
he gets up and starts playing with Jeb. Turns out that him and his band, they are the leading...
Bee Gees Gold.
Bee Gees Gold. They are the leading Bee Gees cover. The only Bee Gees...
Oh, fantastic.
Like,
they do arena shows and pack them out.
Yeah, the Bee Gees
awesome.
actually, sponsor these guys.
They were playing a convention center in Fredericksburg.
And they come down, so he gets up and he's singing like a George Strait song with Jeb, but as the Bee Gees.
Oh yeah,
but then they all got up and sang, and they were amazing.
Wait, he did it all Western swing, like he did like
all
George Strait, except for like really Western swing. And it was cool,
but they were great.
My ex live in Texas.
That's fantastic.
Like
I love
weirdest things. The weirdest things happen. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. You never
Life
know.
on the road, bro.
It makes it worth it, though.
Well, you want to segue into Hard Times?
Yeah, we need to do that. We need to talk about the music.
Hard Times. Sounds like hard times, man.
We did a whole hour.
Well, yeah, we did an hour of talking about just nothing.
Yeah.
Like we're basically the radio version of Seinfeld.
None of these stories were
we
true.
just Seinfeld the hell out of that.
We just Seinfeld the whole morning show. They're like, what is the show about? And we're like, nothing.
That's what makes you great.
It's about nothing.
I've been using ChatGPT this whole time to make this stuff up.
I'm not even sitting here. I'm
Me
actually
either.
at home.
Yeah, I'm AI.
I am AI.
I just don't know how Allen Iverson got so popular all of a sudden. Everybody's talking about him. I thought everybody hated that guy.
Apparently
I thought it stood for artistic infrared.
In Canada, they call it A.
Good old Canada.
They don't pronounce the I.
Yeah.
Some of the nicest people in the world, man.
I'm not your buddy.
I love Canadians.
Me too. I met some new friends that just moved to Heiko from Canada. I'm like,
nice.
what a shock.
I have a feeling UFC in Canada is a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
You okay there, Ray?
Well, I feel like they actually, like George St. Pierre, I feel like he's a product of all their repressed, for real, though.
Hey, I have the privilege. I was on the first basketball team to play a Canada team on TV.
Really?
In Texas, yeah.
That's interesting.
So we were at a tournament in Waco, and we ended up we had to play Canada, and it was televised.
That's crazy.
And they did the national anthem for both. Like, it was like a big deal.
Did they say sorry?
They killed us. Yes.
Sorry.
They did?
Those dudes were like NBA players, but they would knock you down and they'd be like, sorry. And I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
It just makes me madder. You're making me madder.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
But we got them back. They beat us really bad, but then we shaved their heads and gave them American haircuts.
There you go.
Funny, strange fact, in my first band, my first band, Glide, they always used to call me secret Canadian.
Oh,
they're like, you're a secret Canadian. And I would be like, what does that even mean? They're like, you're just really nice about things, and you just kind of have a Canadian vibe.
Canadian vibe.
Yeah, it was like Jon Young, secret Canadian.
He likes his bacon round.
He's a secret agent from Canada.
I like my syrup maple.
I only eat syrup what comes straight from a tree. Straight out of Vermont.
Wait, that's not Canada. Quebec, I mean.
I don't know if you know this or not, but there's an organization that's kind of like over the maple syrup thing, and they're almost like mafia type.
Yeah,
what?
There's an organization that literally regulates maple syrup
on trees.
It's out of Canada.
Have them marked, and you can't touch them.
There's a freaking maple syrup mafia.
There's a maple syrup mafia. For real.
That is the coolest thing I've heard all day.
Maple syrup is one of the most imitated things in the world. It's counterfeited like crazy. People sell things that say maple syrup, and it's literally just corn syrup and like stuff mixed together. There is a group of people that regulate that, and they're hardcore to the point where people are like constantly fighting with them, and they kind of compare them to like a mafia.
I wonder
type
if they
situation.
have like mafia names like Sticky Fingers.
Yeah, they've got to.
Don't make me call Sticky Fingers. Come down there.
Poutine
Siri,
patty.
the ice pick is coming for you.
We'll send in on for us a maple leaf. He's
Sear
fantastic.
and Rupp.
Maple Leaf.
Hey, don't make me get the tap boys.
Sounds
on
like
you.
hard times to me, Jody.
It's hard times. Oh, we got to get to the music. Well, anyway, very exciting times that Jon Young Band's
it's a
got
beautiful
new
day,
music
man.
coming out, and we always look forward
really
to that.
excited for y'all to hear it.
Yeah, man.
When is that dropping?
Today.
So
Today, it's out
the single
everywhere.
dropped
Today?
today.
Today, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm blessed.
This morning,
Yeah.
it dropped, and I'm really excited about this.
It's
song.
everywhere that music can be stolen.
Everywhere, yeah. That we just remember, guys. Just got to spin it a few times because we're just getting paid
Yeah.
0.006 cents per spin.
I think there's even more zeros in front of that.
Yeah, I think
but
you're right.
think of all the time that
negative
people
now.
said you had no sense, and now
I've
you're
got
going
lots
to
of
be
sense.
yeah.
I've got sense in like a fractional sort of way, you know. It's fantastic.
I got 75 cents in my pocket.
I still feel like they need to change the way that works.
It's going to happen eventually, but
I think after the guy bragged about how much money he made and how easy it was,
yes,
I think that might
He just shouldn't get 90% of what we're
exactly like
maybe 80%. I'll be like less mad if you get like 10% more.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of money goes into making this content that he says is so easy to come by.
Well, yeah, he literally, when people said, this is the CEO of Spotify, right?
Yeah.
People were like, you need to pay the artists more. He said, well, artists need to learn to make more art and release it more often.
What I want to know is
that's a horrible
why
response.
doesn't somebody with money just make up kind of the same kind of thing that pays more, and everybody's going to put it on that platform?
Because they won't make as much money.
Well, and here's the
But
thing.
you
That's what it
still
comes
make,
down to.
You still make money.
Yeah.
Like,
But I was thinking about that honestly. Like with all the platforms and all that crap. I mean, it's gonna come to a head eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
It's got to. But like when you really think about it, all these different platforms and stuff like that, the money that we're not making, they the way they look at it is like, well, you would have had to pay a promoter to get this much exposure.
That's right. It's a double-edged sword.
But they would only have to like give us a little bit more to make it really worth everybody's while, even if they went up to 50%. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we had a song off our last record called Unbreakable. That's the title track of the record. And it is going crazy right now over in Europe, Asia. I mean, looking at the analytics of it is crazy. Like it had a pretty good foothold in like Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam.
Ho Chi Minh City.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
I've been
Ukraine.
there. Really?
And it's a really heavy duty song. Like the lyrics are pretty intense. And it was one that I was kind of scared to put out there into the world, and it's literally just gone nuts. I mean, we're getting
honestly.
Yeah, we're getting tons of exposure all over the world.
Yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword because back in the old days, literally anybody that knew about me, it was because I handed them a CD.
Right.
Or I went to a radio station and someone played my song. Or I met them at a gas station and they thought I looked like a musician and I handed them a CD, you know? Like that. So now, if somebody, I can just be like, hey, go look up the Jon Young Band. Not Jon Young, the white rapper. The Jon Young Band. And go listen to our music. And they're like, oh, yeah, cool. I can do that. You know, I mean, it's at their fingertips and their phone.
Yeah.
So that is a cool thing. But definitely the compensation part has been messed up for a while.
Yeah, I think so.
But
Yeah.
It's going to get better.
Well, even Snoop Dogg came out and he's like, I have millions of streams on my songs. And he's like, that's thousands of dollars. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That makes 0 cents.
Makes 0 cents.
Yeah. You can't make it. That's not sustainable. That's going to ruin and kill art.
Yeah.
But basically, they just turned it where
They
we
want
just
that
have
anyway.
to sell
They have a
merch and we have to
backup
hit the
plan
road.
with AI.
Yeah, they want us on hard times, John.
They want us on hard times. Segue back into hard times.
That was smooth, Jeb. It was going to be 40 more minutes.
Yeah, well played.
Got off on another tangent here.
We only got an hour left of the whole show.
we start out on the information superhighway. What happens?
And then we hit the back roads.
Yeah. We are definitely on the back roads.
Yeah.
All right.
Here comes a cliche.
Glenn Campbell or Loud George. Sorry, I'm just kidding.
Well, did I mention Pippin has ADHD?
That's right. Yeah. We should have said him by
It's the
Joe.
perfect storm. We didn't get anything done.
That's why. Did you notice earlier we were having a conversation
Yes,
and they
they're
had
having
their
a
own
conversation
thing
by
going?
themselves. It's fantastic. That's great.
Oh,
Well, let's talk about the new single "Hard Times."
So I wrote this song right in the center of the pandemic and the lockdown. Probably it was in like July of like 20 was when I originally wrote it. It's kind of when everything was really up in the air. It was around, the only thing that I can remember that would definitely help date it is it was right around the time Kenny Rogers died. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that really has a lot to do with it, except that I just remember being like bummed out that such an icon was gone. But the whole song is just kind of a take on not being afraid of life and just remembering that the people that came before us went through so much worse.
Yeah.
You know, and I grew up, both of my parents, my dad was 35 and my mom was 30 when they had me. So my grandparents are older.
Right.
So both of my grandfathers, you know, one was born in 1905 and one was born in 1922. They saw the world change. I mean, literally, they both grew up in the Great Depression, and then my mom's father is the one that most of the factual stuff out of the song is based on. He actually went to fight in World War II. He was in the Army, and he was stationed in England. And so he met my grandmother. She was from England.
Oh, wow.
And he brought her back as what they would call a war bride. And that's, if you look at the photo of the cover of Hard Times, I kind of recreated. That's why there's a British flag in the background, in case anybody wants to
I wondered about
understand what's going on. But growing up with these guys, they both had come from really humble beginnings, and in both, like, one was a farmer and one was a plumber, and they kind of taught us these lessons through my parents, even, you know. I mean, and I grew up hearing all these grandpa-isms. You know, everybody kind of has their grandpa-isms, but that one of the big line in the song that I love is at the end of every drought there always comes a rain. And that's my dad's dad. He was a farmer, and that's just farmer wisdom, you know. And then if you apply that to your life in general, it's like when you think you're down and out just at that last minute, and he's like, it's always going to come a good rain, you know. And that's Dust Bowl farmer mentality.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So that's a big line we threw in there. And then just all the way through it is just kind of it's the focus on that we are strong because of who made us strong, and to remember where we come from, and not be overwhelmed by this ridiculousness happening in the world and everything being just up in the air. We survived World War.
We got it pretty good
survived
right now.
like the Great Depression. It's insane.
And now there's Karens on Facebook going, "Oh my God, did you see the size of the yard the neighbors have? It's like 3 inches too tall."
Yeah, it's a strange time to be alive.
Remember when people couldn't eat and you're worried about the...
I miss when meat was possible.
It really is like...
Impossible.
I think that's going to resonate with everybody, too, because it's hard times everywhere, man.
It is.
And with everything. Everything's the world nowadays...
meat grew on an animal.
Yeah, the whole world has changed. Absolutely.
Actual animals. Now it's 3D printed.
Inundated. That's the word I think I'm looking for. Because, you know, with all the different systems... There's 100 new rules a day in this world. You know what I mean? They make 100 new laws a day, 100 new programs a day, 100 new things to worry about a day. It seems like, you know what I mean? It's all there's new protocols and new systems, and everything's got to update, and everything. It's going to get to a point where nothing works anymore because there's too much going on.
It's true.
Laws cancel each other out. You know, systems work, and then they don't work because they update them.
And it's still not as bad as the Hard Times.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like when they were like trying to drive somewhere to find work so they could feed the family.
Right.
Exactly.
That's all the stories I grew up with is like, you know, grandpa trying to find work during the Depression, and they were just cruising from town to town looking for work.
And nobody had work. Nobody had money.
I think it really will. I think it's going to resonate. I can't wait to hear it. I haven't heard it yet. This is
all right. Well, let's listen to it.
Yeah.
This is Hard Times.
It'll probably mute me later, but then I'll fight it, and then they'll put the audio back on Facebook. But YouTube Live and Facebook Live likes to mute the music, so I think it'll be fine until
Jody sends him a message that says, "You are so sued, bro."
I always fight them.
Do they end up muting the whole video?
No, just the music.
Just the music part. Okay, that's good.
Don't forget where you come from. Whoa, for every good day there are gonna be bad ones. Oh, count your blessings every chance you get before it's too late. My grandpa was born in 1922. He survived the Great Depression, the following World War II. He found it like he saw it. Lord, he worked his whole afternoon in his eyes.
There you go. That's brand new from Jon Young. Drop today. It's called Hard Times.
Available everywhere you do your theft.
God, that just makes me want to dance around. And, it makes me want.
Stream it.
If you had a plate, I'd be putting money in it.
That sounds like
yeah, that's what we were going
got
for.
Revival vibes, man. I love that.
Yeah, it's totally got that vibe to it.
Are you gonna make a music video?
I would love to make a music video. It just costs money.
I had this envision though. Like I feel like it would be awesome. Like because I do this. Jim knows this. When I hear songs, I envision videos. But I had like this vision of this big white tent out in the middle of a pasture, and it's just Jaw. And then as you're going, like, you know, all these like people just start showing up.
Oh,
like,
just out of the woods.
But like from back then, like
everybody looks like they're dressed up.
Yeah, like you know, like Field of Dreams, but it's
that
like
sounds awesome.
Question: are there snakes involved?
No, but it could be in a cornfield. Like,
I think the snakes would improve upon it.
It could be. Like,
you get one of those old preachers, like old Presbyterian preachers from back.
Yeah.
Snakes, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, and some redneck shoots
or
them.
Pentecostal.
No, I could totally see that. That would be an amazing video.
Yeah,
that would be cool, man.
Yeah,
super people just start walking out of the woods,
and then it just ends with you see this tambourine, and it goes down, and then it's just Uncle Bob.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
or y'all are standing on a street corner, like you know the whole video's there, and then
it's like you envisioned
and
it.
Then y'all are all like performing on a street corner, and there's still a bunch of people, but you're like, wait, how do we get here? Kind of a thing, you know what I mean? Like street performer kind of a thing. You know?
Yeah.
It's funny. I was talking to a radio promoter about this song, and he's like, "Oh, this song is fantastic. It really has vibes that could really hit in country and gospel."
Yeah, it really does.
It really does.
Yeah,
yeah. It's a cool song.
I feel like this could be like y'all's Ringling Road. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like really.
That's
like
cool.
you know, just that because it's so different from anything else you've done.
Right.
I'm gonna be jamming it, man. I'll be putting it on my playlist.
Which it's definitely different. The whole album this go round is all based. It's on songs that I wrote during the pandemic. So like that's why this is part of that. It's a concept album from start to finish. You're on a journey through like the pandemic.
It feels like it's gonna be like a healing type.
Yeah,
that's what we're going for.
It's got that vibe. It's got that feel. You know, very.
Oh, man, I just feel like ooh.
I got it, man. I got the chicken skins.
Yeah, I got the chicken skins. That's what my daughter.
It's real. It's a real one. I don't felt it.
Hell yeah, that's what we're shooting for. You know.
If you would like to donate money, send it to Jon Young Band.
Let's go. You want to play another song while we've still got some time?
Yeah, we got time. Let's do it.
All right, let's do Magnolia next. This one is not available anywhere. We're just giving you a preview. Things to come with
our album
BJYB.
come out in October.
We're shooting for October. It may be September, just depending on how things work out.
Hey,
but
there's
probably October.
Miss Beverly Gosden Jenkins, and she says, "Sounds good, y'all."
Excellent.
Top of the morning to you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and Beverly tell you the truth.
I love that. I love that.
I'm honored.
All right, so this is Magnolia.
This is called Magnolia.
Is there a story behind this one?
Yes.
Okay. We'll listen to find out what it is.
Yeah.
Watching Fixer Upper and slow it down.
Yes. Fixer
Night
Upper.
closes in. There are whispers on the breeze, hypnotic melodies as old as time. And all I can say is that I'm thankful every day. Even when I'm far away, you're always right there on my mind, because I miss you. You're the peace while I'm asleep, my favorite memories, my shelter from the storm. I'll be home to you, darling. Meet me in the moonlight when I know you're I used to think it was better to burn than to fade away. Not so sure these days. My whole damn past is full of cinder and smoke. What a mess I made. But still I would not change a thing. 'Cause through the heartache and the pain, I ended up right where I belong. Gotta miss you. You're the strength when I am weak, my favorite melodies, my shelter from the storm.
Good stuff right there.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, man, that's great stuff.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
I love how it like goes up. It just takes you up and down and all around. And
yeah. That's what we were shooting for. Was sonically like a ride from like quiet to big back to quiet.
Yeah. No, y'all's compositions are on point.
Thank you, brother.
Big time.
It helps that it's an honor working with all those guys because they're all very creative and trying to complement and play off of each other on parts. So it's really organic whenever we're just in a room trying to bounce off.
Yeah, it helps that all of you are really good.
Yeah.
Organic's great when people are talented. I've seen organic go really wrong.
I loved what y'all did with that one. I love the lift that y'all put in there.
Yeah.
And, y'all go that 7 and then that major lift is just like, God bless. It really got me, man. You can feel it. There's a lot of air. There's air moving in those songs.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's awesome.
That one is that's a really special song, and its story is just this: like me and my wife, me being on the road. I don't get to see her all the time, so there's all these different things that are running through my head but it's always comes back to just like. 3 more days and I'm coming home, baby. You know, it's that vibe, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you got a good one. She's been supportive from day one.
She has. Yesterday was 15 years that we've been together.
Wow.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, it was sad seeing Bostock's go down, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, that's where we met.
That's where you met.
Yep.
I remember that.
We sure did.
It was awesome that we were a part of the last.
Yeah, we got to play that the last hurrah was 6 Market.
That was a fun one.
It was wild. They stuffed more people in there than they should have. It was like 700 people in Bostock.
Yeah. Even the fire people were like, we don't care.
Josh Serrato needed like a Pope mobile to get to the stage.
A Pope mobile.
What is that? Is that the thing where they carry you?
Let's just say he did not come in through the front door. Rightfully so, though. Josh Serrato's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
One big distinction from this record from the last one, this record is my band. And the last records that I've made have been a project with Josh Serrato and Ben Nussey.
Yeah.
And I've had excellent musicians. And Pippin actually played on Unbreakable.
The last record I did
he did some Unbreakable lead lines, so... But this one we worked on leading up to it. We parted it out. We figured out what exactly we wanted to do with it, and went in the studio and knocked it out quick.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We worked with Taylor Tash, who really helped us rein in because we had ideas and we had it all parted out, you know.
Yeah, he was a game changer.
But he'd be like, "That's really cool. Let's do a little bit of this here," and just he didn't hardly change anything because we had really put a lot of thought into what we wanted to do for this record.
And how it was arranged and everything.
Yeah, and this is a record, like I said, the earliest songs were coming from the 2020, so... And
what I love, we had some time to work on what I always loved about John and his band, especially now, is like y'all sound even better live. Like the recording sounds amazing, but y'all always you build off the crowd.
Heck
you
yeah,
know what I mean?
do.
Like it's even better live. And I love that when I see artists that you go see them live and you're like, wow, they're even better than they were recorded.
Yeah.
Because it's not always that way.
I heard y'all do a mean cover of Money.
I think we do.
Yeah, you can find it on YouTube, but also, most shows will, if we feel it, we like to bring something out like a Live or Let Die cover, something real radical out there.
Oh my God.
And John probably knows every Beatles song ever made.
Quite a few. Quite a few.
We've had acoustic sessions one time. If there's a group of people, we'll play a game on how many songs we could just reference.
I did those picking parties I did for years, but I think one of my coolest memories is one time John was there, and for some reason, everybody was sitting outside or on a porch or something, and instead of being inside, and we're like, let's just move it.
Yeah.
And we just all these people were outside on this deck, on this porch, and we just moved it outside. Didn't ask anybody. We just did it. And there was another artist, I don't remember who it was, but he was blown away by you, and John just took these people over, and then people saw the party as they drove by. So more people, and it turned into this big deal. It went from we're in a room with 2 people to
there's nobody in there.
We threw an outdoor party. It was
I don't think we even mic'd up. I think we just stood out there and played with acoustics.
I just put a mic out for the radio, to pick everything up, and it was awesome.
Awesome, dude.
It's one of my favorite shows.
I'm an opportunist, and I think that's the way you should be if
Yeah.
you're a
Oh, my
musician. It's
gosh.
if you can get into a situation that makes things cooler, and just do it.
Something that speaks like that is when we showed up to we love this place, but Pioneer Tap House in Brownwood.
Oh yeah,
this is pre when they built the nice stage and stuff. So we went in and it's just a beer house with no stage area. There's a corner. And we brought our full PA.
Oh my God!
And we laid out 5 rugs, and Ross was sitting up on a coffee counter or something.
Yeah, we kept rolling in equipment, and the audience is like, "What are you
insanely
doing?"
loud band show, and what is the size of a Pizza Hut. It was incredible.
That's awesome.
The room's big, but definitely that corner was a little small. There was a giant buffalo over my head. It was fantastic.
That was iconic. And ever since then, we've just had a baller relationship with Micah and him. But that would
bless you.
That's the good stuff. The memories like that.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. I wish I could remember that artist though, because I remember he made such a big deal about how John was just so amazing.
We had a
he'd
good
never
time.
seen anything.
There's
like
a video
that.
of that floating around.
I think it's on the old Facebook.
There's
page.
a 20% chance his name's probably John too,
or Jesse.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably was.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah,
John's in a friend group with 800 Johns or something.
Yeah, I just
that.
added
Jon
them all to my
Youngs.
Facebook. Every Jon Young.
Did you really?
Yeah. If they come across and they're having a bad day, I'll just you got this, Jon Young.
It's a good resource.
It really freaks them out a little bit because they're like,
There's
who are
Warrior
you?
John and
I'm
Dr.
you, John.
So there's a Jody
From the
Lee.
future.
There's a
John Young support group.
Jody Lee that does music, and me and him fought over the YouTube pages, and it's Jody Lee Petty, and so it's
that's
Richard
perfect.
Petty's son,
Oh, nice.
the race car driver,
Dude.
but he's a musician. So, but he's got he's Jody Lee music or whatever.
That's
So
funny.
I'm Jody Lee songs. It's different.
It's different, man.
Got the song.
It's different. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, so I'm the same way. I'm like, come on, Jody Lee, you got
Come on.
this.
Yeah, that all started off. I was kind of depressed myself one day and just went. I was like, how many Jon Youngs are there on Facebook? Turns out there's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
That's funny though. It's hey, just keep going, John.
Keep going. You got this. And it's the craziest part. A ton of them are musicians.
Really?
I really think it'd be a great idea to have a Patreon
Or just
and
a Jon Young band.
You have a list of all your sponsors, and it's 35 Jon Youngs on your sponsor list.
It's my,
John Young,
Arizona.
Massachusetts.
Hey, we got to
John
say
Young, Cleburne, Texas.
got to say hello to Yaroslav Yender, who's listening in Poland.
Yes.
What's up,
Fantastic.
Yaroslav?
Man,
I love Yaroslav.
Heck yeah, man.
Him and Raphael actually came and did the morning show with me.
That's cool.
And I took him to Heart 8 to eat. And,
Oh, man.
But Yaroslav's best friend is a fireman in Poland, so we went over to the volunteer fire department, and they gave him a patch to take back.
Fantastic.
Yeah, how cool is that? That there's a fireman
they came
in
and
Poland.
found me when they were on that trip. I was playing in the Stockyards, an
Yeah, we were at
acoustic
the-
show.
Yeah.
And they showed up at the show.
They're
I was like,
awesome.
oh, hey.
They are
I've been
awesome.
seeing them on your stuff and just in general. That was the first time I got to really actually meet him.
Yaroslav just had a son, and he named him Alan. So Alan Yender.
Congratulations.
AJ. Very good. Like Alan Jackson.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, you want to play another song?
Let's do it. We got another one, yeah.
So this last one is a song called Here For You.
It's probably debatably one of my favorites, if not my favorite.
It's a cool song.
This album. It's very different. But go listen to Hard Times.
Hard Times needs your support. Yeah, like I said earlier, these are just some little previews that Jody gets because he's a good dude.
I have to pay
looking
extra.
for it.
I have to pay extra to get these. I use my travel points.
You paid me in exposure bucks.
E-bucks.
Do these trade in for hotels or something? It's like, no.
Think about all the exposure. Yeah, I lost a finger. Thanks.
This song brought to you by Travelocity.
There's more to this than we both know. I can feel it in my heart and soul. There's just no piece of me that isn't you. Up along some crooked road, life feels hard when you're moving slow, but good things come to those seeing through. I'm here for you.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah. Love that.
Almost like a different element. It almost reminds me of early 2000s rock feel. Chase a lot of sound. It's almost like That's awesome, dude.
Kind of reminds me of like a drops of Pluto.
Yeah, I'm digging all these sounds.
Thank
man.
you.
I will be downloading all these.
This record is definitely, it's pretty diverse. This is what's really funny is so like I was telling you, it's a concept record, and the way I built it for vinyl.
Yeah.
So like, it rolls into each other per side. The 3 songs that we've listened to, Hard Times, Magnolia, and Here For You are side C. Those are the sensitive bangers.
Yeah.
And so the first disc is kind of unease. It's pretty rock and roll. Yeah. It starts off very like in your face kind of. That's, I don't know if you've heard Scapegoat. Scapegoat's from the first side of disc 1.
It's pretty heavy.
But when we get ready to release it, it'll all be just in order on,
all makes sense
on the streaming. But it's going to make a lot more sense one of these days when you have the vinyl, because it's like one disc is kind of unease.
See, I love how y'all think. It's like Star Wars. Like he knew that it was the order, and then if you go back and reverse it, and then you put all your records together, and then it tells a story, and then you flip them upside down and backwards. John puts a lot of thought into all of it. Like,
Make sure you listen to this Hard Times in reverse. There's a secret message.
Yeah. No, you have to use the Fibonacci sequence to actually listen to the record correctly.
If you listen to it backwards, it says, "Don't eat smoked oysters."
No pork rinds in the van.
No barbecue flavored
Fun
whiskey.
fact, we actually rolled a dice, and whatever the dice landed on was the amount of letters we had. And we did that the whole album.
I saw an interview one time. It was like the Eagles or something. And they told this big story how they wrote songs and they put like words in and picked them out and all this stuff. And then I seen him talk to Glenn Fry like years later, and he's like, "Oh, we just made that up."
Yeah.
He's like, "We got tired of answering the same questions, so we just made up weird answers." Like,
that's funny.
And I'm like, I believed that my whole life.
Yeah.
It's like I was on acid when I said that, Jody.
You can't trust me. I was out of my head, man. I didn't know what the hell I was saying. I thought I was out of.
I based my whole life on that.
I thought I was at a Waffle House.
Look, that day I'd ate mushrooms, acid, and peyote. Okay.
But you told me
where I went.
But you told me if I went first, I was last.
Is there anybody in there?
He's like, man, that don't even make sense. Of course, you could be if you're not first, you're second or third or fourth. I don't know.
When I said that,
I'm sorry, I was high at the time.
I love that show.
I do too.
Ricky Bobby.
I've lived my whole life based on that moniker. If you're not first, you're last.
Hey, I was telling somebody this story too the other day that you told me. Weren't you playing in Heiko and Emilio Estevez showed up or something?
Sure did. Yeah, I got to hang out with Emilio Estevez. I've actually got the picture. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
He was in town, and this is right before the pandemic. He was in town learning about Brushy Bill Roberts because he said, if Top Gun can make a Top Gun 2, Young Guns can have a 3.
Yeah. Yeah, because
I would love a Young Guns 3.
Oh, they're in the process of getting it made.
Oh man, it's got to be better than Young Guns 2.
Why
though.
is Timothy?
It's got to be better than Young Guns 2.
Well,
no, Young Guns 2 was awesome. What are you talking about?
I liked it better than the first one. I think.
I did too.
I don't know. Young Guns in general is not a great movie. Those are they're kind of cheesy, but I love them.
But they're great.
They're awesome.
Bon Jovi
like Back
likes
to
it.
the Future.
Yeah,
3.
Bon Jovi loves it.
I never. I don't know. I can get.
Hey, maybe we could do a song for them.
Yes.
I'm into.
I just thought of it. We'll start a little side band, John Jody. Just for Young Guns. They can't get Bon Jovi. They get John Jody.
You know, you're talking about that Heiko experience with Emilio Estevez. I should have known that something was up because I was playing my weekly Thursday gig at the Chop House.
Yeah.
And there's a Lamborghini parked out front. And I'm like, I pulled up and I'm like in my van just unloading equipment. I was like, man, that's a really nice Lamborghini.
He's like, I'm trying to lay low. I'll bring my casual color matte Lambo.
So
that must be Burt Reynolds.
So I got in there and I was setting up, and the owner comes over to me and he says, he's like, hey man, I need to tell you this because it's kind of crazy, but he's like, Emilio Estevez is here and he's staying in the hotel. I was like, Emilio Estevez, like the actor. I mean, there's nobody else named Emilio
Billy
Estevez.
the Kid.
I was like, Emilio Estevez, and he's like, yeah, but he wants to keep it real quiet because he doesn't want people to bother him because he's.
But he came in.
He's been going by the alias Charlie.
So at that point, I was playing in the bar of that Chop House, And so you could hear it in the rooms upstairs. We actually stayed, and back originally, he would just give us a free room every once in a while. You could hear everything that was happening in the bar area. So I played my 2-hour set, and the last 30 minutes, he snuck up to the bar, and nobody recognized him. I knew him, and if I hadn't known he was there, I probably wouldn't have recognized him either. He was wearing a big hat, like a fedora kind of hat. And he was just chilling out.
Was he whistling a sad tune?
He was literally eating it up that nobody recognized him. And so he was sitting at the bar just having a drink and eating some dinner. And so I got done with my set. And what I always did at that place, and I still do this at most of my shows, I go around and I shake people's hands. Yeah. And I go and I try to meet the whole room. So I made a point to go around and see every other single person besides him and go do my thing.
Then
let them all start to get out of there. And then I just went and sat down beside him. And I'm like, I'm a big fan of yours, man. I'm glad you're here. And he said, oh, you were that guy playing. He said, that was really good. We had a really good time. So then we talked for like 40 minutes just about movies. I mean, it was fantastic.
That's
I mean,
and
it was
didn't
great.
mention the Brat Pack.
I know. Yeah, I didn't. Thank God.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Apparently, he's like kind of sensitive about that.
Yeah.
It looked like it.
Brat Pack?
Yeah, it's a thing.
There's a whole documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
I'll send it to you. You'll catch up.
Breakfast Club. It's
He's
before your time.
personally
Breakfast
involved.
Club.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all those guys.
I got you.
Yeah, there was just that
Was
whole
he in
group of
that?
people. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was in that?
He was
said
the
that was
football player.
his favorite movie that he ever made was Breakfast Club
He
because
was
he
the
said
football
John
player.
Hughes was a genius.
I didn't realize that.
He was the jock.
I've seen that. I didn't realize it was him.
He was the jock.
Man,
crap.
What was really funny is like I was, just telling him how much like I loved Young Guns and going through, and then I got to like, have y'all ever seen a movie called Loaded Weapon? It's National Lampoon's.
Yeah.
No.
It's him and Samuel L. Jackson, and it's a Lethal Weapon knockoff.
Oh, it's a spoof.
It's a spoof. Back when spoofs were still pretty funny.
Yeah.
And this was right before Samuel L. Jackson blew up.
Yeah.
This was like the year before
This Pulp Fiction. Yeah.
Before Pulp Fiction.
Really?
And so I asked him, I said, did you guys know that Samuel L. Jackson was like going to be as big as he is? And he's like, well, it's funny. Now that I think about it, when he came in, he wasn't really a famous actor. He had been in some movies and had been in some really good movies, but he'd never been like a big. He wasn't Samuel L. Jackson yet. But he said he carried himself in such a way that everybody on set, we were all like, that guy's amazing. And they were just glad to have him because he's a good actor.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah,
see,
shot the
cool.
shit with
But I
Emilio
think people
Estevez. It was
appreciate
great.
when you ask a question that's not like everybody else would ask.
Well, that's what I tried to do, and I brought up some really weird, obscure movies that he was in, and like, have you ever seen Repo Man?
Oh yeah.
So I asked him specifically about Repo Man because it had been on that week, so I'd caught it on TV somewhere and watched it, and I was like, man, what about that Repo Man movie? And he said that he had a terrible time making it because the director was hardcore. Like, he was really interested to work with, kind of a tough movie to make. And if you watch it, it's like an art film. It's like, what am I watching? They're Repo Man, and they repo a car that has some sort of glowing light in the trunk.
Oh, that's
it's really weird.
It's insane. It's like, what is this movie?
What is this? Yeah.
And I feel like it has something to do with Reservoir Dogs, because it's like a similar thing. Remember Reservoir Dogs?
Yeah.
Everybody's chasing that freaking thing, and then like they open it, and you can't ever see what's in it. Like, it could be a sandwich for all you know.
Oh, that's Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
with the case.
Suitcase.
It's not Reservoir Dogs.
No, they stole all the money and got shot.
I mixed the two together.
It's easy to do. It's got a lot of the same people. Yeah, it's got almost all the same
Maybe
people.
Maybe it's a sequel.
They always cross-reference.
It's definitely both early Quentin Tarantino movies.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the next 2 hours of this show.
Yeah.
We're going to be discussing the finer points of Quentin Tarantino.
Yaroslav says he hopes to one day appear at our place with his dear wife and Alan.
So
come on,
Yaroslav. Bring it.
Come on down.
Yeah, or up. Or
up.
I like to think of Texas at
across
the top
the
of
pond.
the world.
Mm-hmm. Rafi always says across the pond.
Across the pond.
Across the pond. Man, where are y'all playing at next?
Let's say we're going to be Magnolia Motor Lounge on the 27th.
Oh, cool. They moved it, right?
Yes.
You should write a song called Magnolia. That'd be great for them.
And actually, next weekend, I'm sitting in for that Cody Kirsch deal up at Bull Nettle.
Oh, yeah, that'll
good.
just
be me acoustic, but those are always really fun.
Oh, yeah.
Then that week after, it's the start of a 3-show run.
Yeah, we're doing Magnolia Motor Lounge at Fort Worth, and then we're playing in Trenton. and Denison. And we're doing the Denison show is with Uncle Lucius.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Which we just played with Uncle Lucius a couple months ago, and they're fantastic.
Like, I've never seen anyone open their mouth as wide as him when he sings. Like, every time I interview him, I just stare at his mouth because it comes open like a lion.
They are the chillest guys.
Oh, they're amazing.
They're amazing.
Amazing. Some of the best
What's
guys
crazy
ever.
about them,
So glad they came back.
Oh, me
You
too.
should wear wolf hats.
Oh yeah, keep the
wolves away.
Yeah, but I don't know. We want them to like us. And
John Young, not John Wolf.
John Wolf.
Yeah,
I've opened for
I
John
love
Wolf.
I love Uncle Lucius.
He spells his name correctly.
Yeah, he does. No H.
Yeah,
Thom stole it too.
Tom and his H.
That's cool. So where's that? Where'd you say that was?
That's gonna be in Denison.
Denison.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I guess all that's on the website, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's on. We have a bands in town. Our website is thejonyoung.com. It's got all our tour dates on
You
it.
can find us on like Linktree on anything.
Yeah.
There's a links to all.
Yeah, if you go to our Facebook page or our Instagram, you'll find our link tree that has a link to everything.
Yeah.
Even this new single. So
awesome. That's what, and it's available today, folks. So,
today.
Hey, there's Marcin Smigas. He's also listening in Poland. So,
All right.
Hey, I was thinking a Jon Young band tour in Poland.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I'll go be security. I'm a big guy. That work.
It works.
Yeah, we would love to have you along.
Yeah, security.
It'd be a lot of fun.
Be like, where'd Jeff go? Oh, I think he caught a train to Amsterdam.
I'm just here for Pippin. I'm just security for Pippin. He pays for his own security.
Yeah, if we go to Poland, we do have to. I think we have to come in via Amsterdam.
If we go to Europe, I'm putting a toilet seat in my rider. like Beyonce. I'm gonna make sure I'm sitting on something I'm comfortable with.
That's awesome. Well, we're out of time, unfortunately. Man, it flew by fast with you guys.
Sure did.
Y'all got to come back again sometime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I still want to do like a full band unplugged something.
Oh, yeah.
In the morning. That'd be fun.
That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did that with Davis Brothers in here, and that was crazy. That was a lot of fun.
Well, let's maybe push for something closer to the album release.
Yeah.
That'd be
Sounds
great.
good.
Yeah, we'd love to come by and all jam with you.
Done. Well, now you know where it is.
Awesome.
So, we'll make that happen. So thank y'all very much. Appreciate you coming in. We got to thank our sponsors real quick before we get out of here, like Triple Crown Ford in Lincoln.
That's right. Let the horses run.
That's right. And, of course, brought to you by Brazos River Air Conditioning.
If you need an AC,
call AC. You can find out more at brazosriverac.com. And Wiley Disposal.
Is your trash in a piley?
Call Wiley.
Don't lose your smiley.
And brought to you by Double D Barbecue.
Where you don't need no teeth to chew.
Yeah, he's got a lot of music out there, adult beverages, great food. Tommy Alverson's coming up there at Double D's in Bluffdale, so check it out.
Get your big barbecue.
Yeah, and brought to you by Wild Will's Saloon and Dance Hall.
That's right. Get your thrills at Wild Will's.
They got Kinfo coming up soon, so we're going to be talking to them next Thursday.
Because there ain't no strangers and rangers.
That's for sure.
Kinfo's going to call in next Thursday live on the Morning Ride. We'll talk about that show. That'll be a good one. And brought to you by Cannonball Insurance Solutions.
Cannonball!
There you go. That's what it sounds like when Kyle Park jumps in the pool. And brought to you by Beverly Gosden Jenkins and the A-Team.
Because if you want the cream of the crop,
you got to rise to the top.
Call the A-Team.
All right.
Wow, you guys are great.
You got to finish out the show for me, or this saying. Whatever pops in your head. It's tradition. I know you've done it before. It'll pop in your head. So till next time, for the guys, I'm Jody Lee. Said, take it easy, and if it's easy,
take it twice.
You know it was up on my head.
Wax on, wax off, breathe in, breathe out, wax on, wax off. A lesson not just karate only, lesson for whole life.
Live from the Rockstar Ranch at Texas Homegrown Studios, it's the Morning Ride.
What was that? An exhibition? We need emotional content.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
This is Jon Young, and you're listening to my good friends on The Morning Ride, right here on Texas Homegrown Radio.